Hello everyone and welcome back to our Portuguese homestead. So today we have another a little bit of a chatty video for you. One of the extra videos I'm doing this month where you get some extra insights, just me talking about stuff. Last week I did quite a long talk all about my pregnancy. So if you haven't seen that, do go check it out. It's the one and only time I will talk about it more in depth because, as I said in the video, pregnancy is not really interesting to me. It just is what it is right now, so I'm not a mommy vlogger or anything like that, so I don't want to talk about it all the time. So today I want to answer some of the frequently asked questions, and Brooke is doing some laundry over there. Yeah, because I get a lot of repeat questions, all of them understandable. Some of them we've already answered a little bit in the first Q&A type video that we did here on the channel, which I will try to remember to link in the description box. But I thought, let's just put it out there. I can, if I get the question again, I can just have people go to this video and then you get all the explanations. I was planning on doing these videos a little bit more casually, so I'm just gonna chat and then hopefully in the edit I can make it into a reasonably understandable talk. So one of the questions I get asked a lot, which is very understandable, is how much did we pay for our land? It's not something I like to answer, mostly because it varies so much, and it's just not information that I want out there on the internet just freely. It basically comes down to that. I'm not comfortable with saying exactly how much we paid for the land. What I do want to say about that though is that our land was quite cheap compared to the other places that we had looked at. That has a couple reasons. The main reason being that it was so extremely overgrown and not taken care of for a couple decades. So as you would have seen over the last year, we've been cleaning up a lot. It's a lot of extra work. You could hire people to do it. You could have machines come and bulldoze the whole thing, which is not something that we have chosen to do. We want to do it over time and kind of grow with the land and see how it goes and kind of feel out what areas need our attention. So let me just kind of reframe this question, and how I kind of answer this a lot is that if you're looking for land, the price depends on a couple things. Location. Here the Castelo Branco district has some of the cheapest land that is not like all the way up a mountain, very steep, just a pine forest. I'm sure you can find land like that that's also very cheap, maybe more up north. But for like fairly usable land, the Castelo Branco district is the cheapest right now. So that's location. It's a wonderful area, we love it here, but it has its ups and its downs that you have to take into consideration. Then has it been used well? So other people we've known, like Tom and Matilda that you saw in a video a couple months ago, they bought the land, and the man they bought it from, he was using it up to the day that they sold it to them. So he was putting in cover crops over winter, and he was doing all these things. The vineyard that they have was well kept. The olive trees were looking good and well kept. So you're obviously gonna pay more for that than the trees that we found here, which we couldn't even see when we bought it. So yeah, that obviously that's gonna increase the price. Whether there's a house on it or not, matters. Water matters because water is life. So if there's already a borehole on it, that's obviously gonna cost you a little bit more. Yeah, so these are all things to consider. So that also answers one of the questions. Where are you located? We are in the Castelo Branco district, which is about as narrowed down as you're gonna get it. Some of the people would like to know what village we live by. Yeah, for privacy reasons, I'm sure you understand. We're not gonna say that. I'm not gonna film in the village because it's quite easy to, easy. If you live here, you'll recognize it, and we don't want that. So Castelo Branco district, that's where we live. Over the last, especially now during the pandemic, and especially after Brexit, there's been quite an influx, I would say, at least for me, it feels like there's been an influx of foreigners like us into the area, which has its ups and its downs once again. I guess that happens everywhere where land is cheap. What I've noticed a lot as well, which is sometimes kind of disappointing to me, is that people also just buy up the land because it's cheap, but then they don't really do anything with it, or they don't plan to move to Portugal full time. I know not everyone can live the way that we do, and that's totally fine, but it's kind of disappointing sometimes when you see that people start projects but they don't know how to finish it, or they don't have a plan on how to make money, or yeah, that's something I've noticed a lot. So my advice would be to please figure out how you're gonna do it. Please save enough money. It would be such a shame if you start a project like this and then just kind of have to give up because you run out of money and you don't have a plan to do anything to make money. So that kind of brings me to my next frequently asked question. What about the legal side of all this? To which I always say, I have in the last video and in this as well, I don't answer that. It's that simple. I'm not a legal expert. It's very different depending on where you are. If you are looking into things and you're not sure, please go look into a local lawyer who knows the authorities, who knows the rules in that particular area. And if you don't want to take any risks, just consult them, talk to them and see what you can do. Yeah, it's that simple. I'm not a lawyer. I don't discuss that kind of thing on the internet. Next up, something maybe a little bit more fun. I don't know. Why don't we all have goats? So I get the comment a lot, especially if we talk about land clearing or something like that. Last time I showed Martin's trimming. People were down in the comments saying, oh, goats would do this much easier and quicker. So there's a couple of reasons that we don't have goats, or might not ever have goats. One of them being that we just don't have the fencing or a place to keep them warm and dry. We have no stables. We don't have a shed to keep them in. All the kind of basic infrastructure that you need to keep animals in a good way. I also see this a lot. People start with animals before they are ready, which is stressful for you. It's stressful for the animal. We don't want that, so we just don't have goats right now. Goats are great at many things. They're great for milk, but that's another job on your list every day to do. And as you will know, we have enough to do already, so an extra chore every day is not something that we want to commit to right now. Next to that, sure, goats are great at clearing land, but not the land that we have, because it was overgrown for so long. Some of the bushes were taller than me, taller than Martin. easily 3 meters high. They have stems this big sometimes. They're basically trees half the time. Goats will eat a lot, but they won't eat trees. So they're not wood chippers. Something that we might buy in the future. But so, sure, they're great at clearing land, but you would need to have something that's already a bit more manageable for them to even consider it. In addition to that, we first want to clear the land and kind of let it rest as well, so that all the grass can come up. And we don't want to have grazers on land that wouldn't be able to take it. So because they do eat a lot of things, I don't want them to eat everything to the ground and then kind of ruin what we're trying to build here. So those are a couple reasons for me that, or for us, that we don't have goats. If we get more animals, well, first we want to get some more chickens. But even with chickens, they do scratch a lot. It's good to kind of manage them. Now we want to start fencing in a big area for them, so they can just be there and not come into the kitchen, not go to the neighbors. But fencing is an investment. Fencing is not free. If you saw the last video, we are on a budget, so we don't have casually a couple €100 lying around to go buy some fencing and start that. So all in due time. And they're fine for now. The chicken coop is really the most important part for us, and that's very secure, because then nothing can come in at night and grab them. And it's big enough for more chickens. So that's what we'll do. And then maybe we'll get some sheep. I think sheep will be a lot easier to have here than goats, because they don't jump fences and stuff. And if we wanted to, we could have milk from them as well. So that's the plan. We'll see how it goes. I think it will probably be a couple years before we get anything more than chickens, though. Just because the land needs more time. We need more time to clear everything. But in time, we don't want to be trimming every year, every couple months. So they're on the plan, but not right now. So while she's making a complete mess over there, and I just swept the floor. What about Puck? Next baby. People seem to think that we are quite isolated. There are places in the district where you can be a lot more isolated, but we're not. We're quite close to a couple villages, some of them even in walking distance, and there's like everything you need is in close proximity. And then Castelo Branco is also there, not too far away from us, so we're not super isolated. We just don't show the neighbors or many of our friends, because that's not what the channel is about, and because it's awkward. It's just not okay to randomly film people. But there's plenty people around. We're not lonely in any way, and there are children around if we want to have that kind of interaction for Puck. There's lots of babies, older kids, and more people with kids moving in every day. So yeah, we're not super isolated. And the village that we have close to us even has a school, a primary school, which is where Puck will go next year, hopefully when she's 3. And then she can go to like the preschool, kindergarten type thing that they have, where she will learn Portuguese. I'm not so worried about her learning Portuguese, because at that age they pick it up like that. She'll be fluent much earlier than us. And I know there's a lot of foreigners who move in who do homeschooling. You do you. It's not for us for a couple reasons. And one of them being that we just really want Puck to integrate very well into the local community, and then we can kind of follow along, I think. And it's just very important for us that she learns proper Portuguese from Portuguese people, because teaching your child a foreign language that you don't speak yourself is not a good way to go. Yeah, that's very important for us. And then next to that, homeschooling is a very big commitment, and it's something that we can't commit to right now, or maybe ever. So Puck is gonna go to school. She's gonna learn Portuguese. And I honestly think she'll love it. She loves to be entertained, as you can see. Yeah, just have other kids to play with and do crafts and learn lots of things. So finally, a question that I don't get a lot, but I think it's quite an interesting question. Why do you do YouTube? So we've chosen this lifestyle where we kind of get to step away from a lot of things that we don't agree with, that are not to our liking, and to kind of build a lifestyle based on our own, what we find important in life, which sometimes clashes with what other people find important, and that's okay. But then why do you do YouTube? First of all, then you're still working for a big company. You're still kind of feeding into a system that you don't always agree with. Even though I've said it before, and I will say it again, is that you can't really step out of the system. I believe that's not possible, nor desirable. So why do you do that if you have these ideals? And then why do you want to make videos? So I was always looking for a way to kind of share our message and kind of talk to people and show them the way that we live. That's a goal for my channel here. And not even like, I see some of you in the comments who are maybe too old to do this, to start this, but it's nice to see other people living how you used to live, or maybe making your living what you always dreamed of, or just people living their everyday life. To see that there are still people out there who just live, and yeah, I appreciate all those different reasons to watch my videos. But yeah, I started a blog. I wanted to like look for a way to kind of get our message out there, and then I realized that video making is a great thing, because then it's not so much work as sitting down and writing, which can be quite hard for me, especially being kind of dyslexic and having to spell check everything 5 times. And it's very doable with children around, especially because Martin is also always here and he can like get Puck away from me sometimes. So that's why I do YouTube. I kind of love it right now. I've been really enjoying it over the last year. It's very creative as well. Yeah, it's been a great outlet for this past year. A great way to connect with people, and yeah. It's not all about the money for me, although it's an income stream for us. So I hope that made sense. Next week, depending on how it goes with all the rain, because we have a week of rain coming, again, and kind of depending on how it goes with the solar and stuff, I might do a last sitting down chatting with you kind of video. So if you have any questions for that, any particular topics that you want me to talk about relating to off-grid living, regenerative lifestyle type things, do leave them in the comments. I'll be interested to hear. And then I've been watching people living frugally a lot, which is something we kind of already do as well, but I'm not always great with it, so I'm gonna do a kind of challenge for me in January 2021, I've decided. So I'll be making a video about that as well, about budgeting, frugal living, my plan, and maybe take you along with that. We can save money together or not spend money, which I think would be great for many people to see. And just the month of January is always a month where you kind of have to spend less, because lots of people spend lots of money in December. Which is a whole nother issue. So yeah, I think the last extra video this month is gonna be about that. So maybe not an extra video next week. For now, see, my throat starts to be kind of scratchy after a while. So this is gonna be it for today. I hope you enjoyed me talking into nothingness for however long this video is gonna be. And I will see you on Sunday with another vlog.